Hey, how you doing?
What's up?
We found a studio.
And internet
We tripped and fell into a studio.
and power
And
all
power.
the things that are needed.
The lights work today.
Yeah,
That's always a plus.
they didn't last night, but
No, they did not.
They
They
do
did not last
currently.
Cameras were not working on Monday night when we tried this,
Yeah,
nor was the microphones,
yeah.
nor was the computer.
Nope.
So that's fun.
But everything's working right now.
I think this is MDF. I don't think this is real wood, but we can.
But we're gonna knock on it anyway.
We're gonna try. Hey guys, how are you?
What's up, everybody?
Hello, internet.
Yeah,
Nick and Zach from Hasty Bake.
that's right.
It's been a minute.
It's been a few minutes.
A lot has happened.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Some of it is
None of it was our fault.
I was gonna say
No, I'm not claiming it.
No, I was going to say some of it was, some of it was baseball's fault. Some of it was Mother Nature. But here we are.
Mother Nature more than anything.
Yeah.
We've been forced to redo this one a couple of times. We are still, by the way, for those of you guys who are looking forward to having Ken Schaefer on, we are definitely still going to have him on.
Absolutely.
We're working with him right now to try to find another date. In between the time that we booked him and the time he was supposed to be on, Tulsa blew up like a bomb.
Yes.
And everything kind of went to shit. So
Yeah.
there's that. But hey, we're super happy to be here.
Yeah. So we wanted to, like you said, we don't have Ken on tonight,
Right.
but we wanted to just jump on and kind
of give an update
Yeah,
about
give an
life
update and just kind of chat about some things here for a little bit on your drive home so what's going on? What's new?
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on.
We do.
New. So give a quick update. We did, we've already had people on there. They're like, hey, that tree removal was pretty impressive at the shop.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are either not in Tulsa, mainly not in Tulsa, because if you're in Tulsa, you definitely knew what was going on. But if you're not in Tulsa, we had a massive, I'll call it weather event.
Derecho.
Is that what it's called?
That is it.
It's
A
a
derecho.
fancy. Doesn't that mean right in Spanish?
I don't know.
I think it does.
I'm not going to provide any more context other than
You
that.
don't habla español.
Yeah.
We had a massive weather event that hit Tulsa. God, I don't know how long.
Well, it was Father's Day weekend.
Father's Day weekend.
Father's Day morning.
And man, that was fun. Had 100-mile-an-hour plus winds that took out power to almost half the city.
Yeah.
Did massive damage in a lot of places, including here. We probably, truthfully, kind of came out better than some folks did.
For sure.
Definitely didn't have power. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We had a tree decided that it would rather take shelter inside of our building rather than outside of our building. So that was fun. Some water also decided that inside the building was a more fun place to live than outside. Mm-hmm. So that was a total blast. We were supposed to have Ken on that next Monday or Tuesday, I believe.
Yeah.
And then we all woke up to that. So.
And he didn't have power either.
I think he lost everything in his walk-in, as most of the restaurants. You know what? Walk-ins, refrigerators, freezers, all that. Like you got a limited amount of time to be okay.
Yeah,
definitely.
Right.
5 days is a little much.
Much.
It's a lot to ask some insulation and some cold meat.
Yeah.
So we were down. Hasty Bake was down power for, I think, 5 days. We went down Saturday. We came back up Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Which is truthfully brutal because in the production world, it's not a 1-for-1, meaning if you're down for a day, you're not a day behind.
Right.
So we're about a month behind
on
everything. Yeah. I know we were looking at grill inventory over the last couple of days. Zach and I were looking at grill inventory. We're like, wow, we may be a month out on those ones.
Yeah. I had to tell somebody today that we're a month out on a grill that they're looking for.
I hate that. We fight for that not to be the norm.
For sure. But it's just one of those, as much as I hate the saying it is what it is, it is what it is at this point. We'll get back to, our normal levels that we like to sit at. But just right now, that's where we are. And, fortunately for us, everybody has been very understanding.
Yeah, they have.
From us emailing people and saying we don't have power, we can't get anything shipped, to the guy today that just said this is still the B side of that that storm, and you know,
Yeah.
that's where we're at. So
not a lot of fun.
No.
Like I said, Nomad Barbecue down the road.
Yeah.
Some good Hasty Bake folks. They just commented and said they lost $4,700 in product.
yeah,
And truthfully, like I was talking to a couple buddies of mine that same boat, and I said, "Well, your insurance make you whole on that?" They said, "I mean, they do if you want to pay the deductible
Right.
on it, but depending on your insurance, that may or may not be worth it."
Right.
So sometimes you're just out. We had, like I said, a tree decided to relocate inside of our building. That was an expensive endeavor, having that taken down and then chucked up and then hauled away. And then now it's weird because you pull in and it doesn't look like a tree was ever there.
No.
Stump grinders are an amazing thing.
they are amazing.
And I came out an hour after they ground that stump. And, I mean, you could have bet me money that there was never a tree there ever.
for sure.
It was outstanding. But kind of sad.
Yeah.
It was a pretty tree.
So, I know, probably everybody that's listening to us does it, but go out, support your local restaurants.
Yeah, please.
I know we all do a good
after
job of
COVID, we've kind of tried
For sure.
to not push that, but we got a little fatigued of
That's
eating
right.
out every single meal. But
That's
yes,
right.
If you're in the Tulsa area, I agree. Go support because they're hurting. I mean, Nomad was out of power today, I believe.
Were they?
Well, we lost power last night here, so
Yeah.
we still have some issues with the power grid here in Tulsa. Heck, we could lose it. I'm not even going to say it because my night crew back there will shoot me.
Right.
They've actually are finally getting to do some work tonight.
Yeah, we had to send them home last night.
Yeah.
So.
Still brutal. Still, like you said, the backside of dealing with all that. But, but yeah, if you're in the have the ability to go support them. Yeah. Nomad said they had a water line break, which I mean, who knows what that was from, but. It was also so Tulsa this week today specifically has been the surface of the sun.
Yes.
114
Yeah.
is what our heat index was today. So that's been tons of fun. So it's a blast. Living in Tulsa is awesome.
So
You should move here.
but the other side of the storm thing was we got to go do something pretty cool.
Absolutely.
And we love the Tulsa community and love to be a part of that. And after I think it was about a week after the storm, you and I and a few others had the opportunity and the privilege to go out and cook for all of the linemen.
Yeah, and I mean
in town, and I mean all of them.
Yeah, and if you're unaware of, like, when you have a disaster, whether it's something like this or broader scale natural disaster or whatever, there's these co-ops of power companies that they share linemen back and forth.
Yeah.
So you'll see these absolutely gigantic convoys of linemen driving literally across the country, sleeping in their trucks and everything else, to visit the locations that have been damaged and to basically do work for them on loan.
Yeah.
And I know that during the same time, I believe it was Louisiana also had a weather event, so there was linemen that were down there. But we had linemen over here from as far north as the Dakotas, far south or as far east as Carolinas and Florida and all that. So we came in and we're like, man, I wish we could do something for all these folks that are like they're just visiting Tulsa and working their butt off, working 18-hour days, just trying to get through and eating at the 3 McDonald's that still have power all day every day.
Right.
And we're like, oh wait, we can because that's what we do.
Yeah.
So we picked up the Hasty Bake trailer and went and loaded it with more hamburgers than God.
Yeah.
And so we're just gonna cook for people. So called up PSO, the local power company here, and said like, hey, you guys are the one contracting all the linemen. Like, tell us how we can do this. And they said, hey, we're working with the fairgrounds. We'll get in touch. And they came back and said, fairgrounds is gonna house it. That way we can bring everybody inside in the AC. We want you guys out here. We'll help the best we can. So we rolled up, had some ambassadors and some friends jump in with us. Even some of the PSO people jumped in. A lot of the fairgrounds people helped out. And we ended up feeding, I'm going to bet between 12 and 1,500 linemen that day. Definitely 12 to 1,500 burgers because some of those boys can eat.
That's right. That is correct.
But it was great, man. I love doing stuff like that.
Absolutely.
We've done a lot of disaster relief, mass feeding events, things like that, over the last 10 or 15 years that we've been involved in it. And this was like a no-brainer. This is what we do. We can't get power back on. We can't help these other companies. And truthfully, like at the time, we weren't even up and running in a lot of ways. But that we can do. So that was really fun for us to do. There's some pictures posted out there. PSO shared some pictures as well. But it was a thank you. Like, that's not a pat on the back for Hasty Bake. We were blessed to be able to do it, but But these guys drop everything and walk away from their family for a couple weeks to come help out Oklahoma. So we're just super thankful that they were able to do that. And it's I'm not exaggerating when I say it's a very, very dangerous thing, especially in the summer heat.
Sure.
Because you have a good chunk of the population. I don't know. It's definitely not a majority, but a sizable amount of elderly, of special needs, of all this, where they depend on medical supplies. They depend on HVAC. They depend on heat, hot water, all that kind of stuff. And you don't have any of that without power. So hospitals have grids and backup generators and that kind of thing, but a lot of individual folks don't have that. So a lot of these linemen were literally saving lives.
Yeah.
So pretty cool. Super happy to be able to be involved in it.
Yeah.
Hey, since the last time we podcasted, we threw a festival. You remember that?
I do.
It feels like a year ago.
Yeah, I do a little bit. Has it been that long since we've been on here and talked?
I think it's been we're a month and a half right now.
Okay. So
late May.
So yeah, we'll do the after action on
Grill Fest.
On Grill Fest right now.
If you've been hanging around Hasty Bake for any amount of time, you know that yearly we used to do the Owner's Comp. A couple of years ago, we rebranded that to Grill Fest, and this year we blew it up and took it over to TU.
Yeah,
a lot of people, a lot of teams.
Yeah, man, I can't believe we hadn't even covered that. But yeah, what a what a great event.
Yeah, I think we ended up with about 50 teams that came out that day, took over the Chapman Commons. And then we had well over 1,500, probably 2,000 people from the public show up to be the judges for the People's Choice competition.
You know what we didn't have that day? Rain.
You know what we were supposed to have that day?
Rain all day.
I don't know if anyone's been following us on social media, but in case you're looking to hire some folks to do a rain dance,
we are available.
We are available.
Yeah.
And this time of year, we're pretty affordable.
Yeah, yeah.
We got nothing else going on.
But I think, the rain skirted us all day long until you were hooking up the trailer to pull out.
So it's a big lift getting this thing set up, coordinated. We had tents on scene and trailers and bathrooms and teams and trucks and the whole thing, right? And the entire day prior, it was supposed to rain. It didn't the entire time.
No.
Which is great because the grass would have been absolutely destroyed.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah.
And then the entire day of it was supposed to rain.
Mm-hmm.
And we got everyone loaded in, got the entire event done, got all the public out, got all the teams out, got all the tents undone, got everything packed up. And the last thing I had to do was pull our F-350 up to a Hasty Bake trailer. And the minute I dropped that hitch on, the heavens opened.
Yeah.
The thunder rolled.
Yeah.
And we got a downpour. And we pulled out, and that was it. So, like I said, we're available for rain
dance.
Right.
That's right.
If you're ever needing it.
But what I love about, I love a lot of things about that event. But what I love is seeing people that, come to this event that aren't necessarily big Hasty Bake people or something, is they just hear, it's a barbecue competition.
Right.
And to be able to show them all the different kinds of food that can be cooked on the same grill is so dang cool.
Yeah.
And there was a ton of really, really good food out there. A lot of really cool ideas by a bunch of teams out there. It was awesome.
I think one of my favorite things about it too was everything was unique, and it's not even the creative things you would think of. Okay, you think, someone's going to do pork shots, someone's going to do shotgun shells, someone's going to do pinwheels, and all that was there, and it was all outstanding. But I mean, there was like barbecue spaghettis, and there was grilled salads, and there was grilled desserts, and there's all these things that I'd never even seen before.
Yeah.
And people jumped in and had a grand old time.
Yeah, yeah, and with us moving it there, it really just opened up the playbook for us. Like, we were able to do things that we haven't been able to do, like having the bounce houses and things like that. Was just really cool, and something that I know, that we'll keep building on and keep, playing around with.
Yeah, for sure. It's one of the issues we had having it here is obviously just space. We couldn't park anyone here, so everything was offsite. And then even once we could get the teams in, having all the things to bring the public in, and realistically, we want the public involved because I mean, there's nothing like having people experience Hasty Week for the first time and the flavor of it, and it hooks them. And from a company selling marketing standpoint, like we want to sell them a grill,
Right.
but at the same time, like we want them to discover a hobby that they really enjoy, and we also wanted to appreciate the fact that in their own backyard is this 75-year-old company,
Right.
who has this massive cult following of people who are just absolutely addicted and in love with the product. So it's a great way for us to show off to the community and to Tulsa and say like, hey, this is what you can appreciate in your own backyard. And the teams really showed up. I mean, I think out of all the 50 teams, and there's nothing wrong with this, but out of all the 50 teams, there's probably sub 5 teams that just cooked like one small protein, like just pork butt, or just brisket or whatever. And even the ones that did that, it was outstanding.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who had 3 or 4 different dishes, and there are people who had grilled drinks. I mean, there was just, it was nuts. And the public went absolutely crazy. We had awesome bands play the entire day, had a massive kids zone with bounce houses and slides and face painting and snow cones. We had some food vendors there. Marshall Brewing did another commemorative beer for us.
Yes.
And we sold that, which I still have a 6-pack of that in the fridge over there, by the way.
You did.
I did.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was a great day. And we were super, super excited.
It was a great event. I think that we learned some things for next year to I think now we kind of we love the location, and we've learned things that we can tinker with and keep growing it and making it bigger and better for next year.
Yeah, there's tons of room to grow
Yeah.
there. And TU was over the moon to have us there.
Yeah.
We've already been talking about how we can make it bigger and better next year. So that being said, I want to encourage you, one, if you're in the Tulsa area, go ahead and mark your calendars.
Yep.
I say that as I don't have a calendar in front of me, but it's the first Saturday of June, and we're gonna be doing it at the same time next year. So, as I pull this up,
would that be the 5th? The 4th?
I think might be the 4th. June. Oh, it's June 1st. It bumped back.
So it's June the 1st, like we said.
Yeah, that was exactly what we said.
Because you have that with the leap year,
with the dates and with the way of the weeks and so the first Saturday of June, which is June 1st, we will be back at TU this next year. So put it on your calendars now.
Yep.
We'll be announcing team signups probably about 2 months out next year. We'll give you guys a little bit more time because we do have a little bit more room for teams, not a ton.
Right.
But we could probably fit another 5 or 10 if everyone got real cozy.
Yeah.
The team sites were nice and big this year. Actually, they were. So this is the funny thing. The amount of paint that I went through marking. So we were told by TU, like, hey, there's a map online. You can go ahead and grab, and it's the scale. And they gave me the ratio scale.
Allegedly.
So go ahead and mark that map, so you can fit your teams out. So I was like, okay, great. So we organized it. We did it. That's what we turned into the fire marshal, the whole thing. So I show up the day of. We're all there setting up. I got a wheel out there, and I'm marking. I'm spraying. And I get done with the row on the map, and I'm like, I'm halfway down the lawn. I'm like, these spots must have been 10 by 15, not 10 by 10. So I was like, silly me. I made made an ass out of me and me.
That's right.
So I went back and marked them as 10 by 15, and I got back down, and I'm like, I'm only 3/4 away through the lawn. So ran down to Home Depot again. And grabbed a different color paint so as not to completely screw people over, and discovered that we could give everyone about 25 by 20 foot spots. So no promises. Next year might be a little narrower so we could fit a few more teams in there, but it was plenty of room.
It was, especially when you got the public in there.
Yeah.
Like you said, we can definitely grow, but not a ton. Like,
I think we can fit probably 2 or 3 times the public in there. But as far as teams go, and obviously teams got to feed the public. So
yes,
we'll balance all that out. I think it was a good balance this year. I mean, we learn stuff every single year that make the event bigger and better. And we do send out surveys to the teams that are there and get their take on it because honestly, you guys are on the ground too, and we want to get your take. So we take all that very seriously. But yeah, next year we'll be able to squeeze some more teams in there. We'll have more public. We'll have more water. Little things we learned.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a blast. So mark your calendars for June 1st for next year. Grill Fest is going to be an absolute blast. I'm really looking forward to it. So
you mentioned a little bit ago about us being around for 75 years.
Yeah, we're kind of old.
And, we've we've started rolling out little things here and there and big things here and there.
Yeah, tell us about the little things.
I should have brought one for
Go
show and
grab
tell.
one. Go grab one. We got cameras. Go grab one. I can talk.
Can you?
I know how to fill time.
Let me.
One of the things two of the things we rolled out in the last 6 months have been some apparel. We have a couple more pieces of apparel, but one of them is our retro shirt, and that's available on our website. It's a yellow shirt, kind of a Detroit yellow garage looking shirt that's got some old copy on it from one of our old magazines. That's really cool. It's like a hood does the good, and we actually use that logo on the other product that Zach is bringing as well. And then we released what we call a pinup girl shirt. So there was for those of you who know, over the course of Hasty Bake history, there's been some variations of some semi-questionable material that went around in the pinup age that was kind of fun to look back on and be like, oh, so we did that.
I believe Lorraine, and I forget
if Lorraine's around, we have some
Lorraine,
pictures of Lorraine when she was younger.
Yeah, Lorraine, if you're on here.
Yeah, but we released the pinup girl shirt. So that's got kind of a fun roller skater looking-ish, booty
great.
short kind of thing, serving up food on a Hasty Bake Grill, and that's kind of a fun throwback shirt as well. And then you guys know, if you've been around, like, you know that we're kind of addicted to these stupid thing called silly pints. Yeah. They're silicone pint glasses, and we sell the heck out of them. We've had multiple ones over the last couple of years, but this is the new one, the 75th. It's got the 75th anniversary logo on it, and on the other side, it's the Mr. Hasty. With it's the hood that does the good.
Against all odds, Mr. Hasty will not go away.
He made a return. I tried to kill him.
Thankfully, there's people like me around here that still
live
fight for
in
Mr.
the past.
Hasty.
No. It's a great excuse to bring him back. So those are available on the website and in the store. Come grab those. They're black. Yeah. So that's a different color. We've done gray and we've done red. And here's a black one.
People are loving these. My man Nick came in today to get one to take all the way back to Tennessee with him. So,
nice. So the cool thing about the silly pints is they're squishy.
Yep.
So there you go. They're squishy. And so they can get knocked off a grill, like when your grill gets to temp and the table decides to go.
That's right.
They get knocked off the grill and they don't break. And I didn't realize this until I bought one. The silicone, because it's kind of an insulator, it doesn't sweat.
Yeah. No.
So it's kind of like having like a Yeti cup. I didn't say that out loud, but it's kind of like having a Yeti cup for the low price of $12.99.
That's right.
And that doesn't sweat, and it does keep your drink kind of nice and cold. Or I put coffee in it.
You can put it. I have not done coffee, but you can put it in the freezer.
Yeah, you can.
It can go in the dishwasher.
Yep.
It can go on your mantle.
I mean, if you want to display it,
just a show dog right
just
there.
Telling you. So, yeah. So come grab a silicone
cup. So that's a couple of things that we've done, and I know we're planning on doing more.
That's it, though. I mean, mainly that's
right.
It's such a big accomplishment. We think 2 shirts and a cup, are definitely.
I was thinking about bringing back the matchbooks, but
that might be a good thing to.
But when was it? A couple of weeks ago, we. Was that when we
announced it a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, a couple. Of weeks ago.
Let me backtrack. So at Grill Fest, we had the launch, the official preview of what we're billing as the Model 175. Mm-hmm. So if you look back in Hasty Bake history, we started out with 3 models. We had a kind of a portable Ranger-ish model. We had a boomer, and we had what was billed as a coffin top, or the Model 100. The coffin top literally kind of looks like a coffin when it's on the side. So it's kind of got a narrow waist, and it kind of comes out into a coffin top looking thing. And when we were talking about the 75th anniversary, by the time the 100-year anniversary comes around, chances are most of us are not going to be here. I'm not planning on living personally more than about another 10 years. So, no, I mean, you kind of want to leave your mark on Hasty Bake, right? And, like our current president, he's not going to be here in 25 years. The company changes hands over time, right? So we're like, what do we want to do to be our 75th is our time to leave a legacy as far as what we chose to kind of celebrate. So we said, let's bring back an iconic grill. And okay, what is the iconic grill? And the boomer was an option. Yeah. It's fun. It's not super original compared to our current one, because a legacy still kind of looks like a boomer a little bit.
For sure.
The coffin top does.
Yeah.
So we decided that the coffin top was going to be it, and our engineers got to working on it and came out with a reissue. So it was the Model 100. We're calling this the Model 175 for the 75th, and we announced it at Grill Fest, and I want to show it to you guys.
Yeah.
So this is kind of fun.
It's, man, it's so cool.
It's a sexy grill, for sure. So this is the very front, and I'll show you a side profile here in a minute. But this is the front, and I want to call out a couple things in this picture that are kind of neat. So if you look on the left-hand side, you got those handles. The original coffin top had gnarled handles, and we brought that back. So it's got 2 push handles on the side, and the crank handle on the bottom is all been machine gnarled. All the badging on it is black and silver badging, so it's not blacked out, but it's black and silvered out.
Right, for Raider fans.
Just primarily for Raider fans, yeah, absolutely. It's got the longer hood handle on it.
Yeah.
You know, obviously a lot longer than our current one with the handle insulator, the 75th anniversary badge, the retro Hasty Bake badge on the top right, which is basically for the longest time was the original Hasty Bake badge. There's a couple little variations of it, but we had that reissued. And then I'm going to show you the beer timer here in a minute that you see kind of peeking out from that Tell True.
Before you talk about that, one of my favorite things about this grill, you actually can't even see in this picture, but talk about the internals on this.
So here's your internals right here. So if you look at the kind of the side profile, you see how it kind of hugs in like a coffin. So the couple cool things with the internals. One, all the internals inside are stainless.
Yep.
So it's a black powder coat base. We talked about doing it stainless. The problem with stainless is for collectors, we never released the coffin top in stainless.
Right.
So we wanted it to be true to a reissue to what the grill actually was. It also becomes a little cost prohibitive, and we have a lot of guys that are like, they really want one. So, so we decided to go black powder. But to offset that, we also decided that that we should make all the internals stainless. So similar to like our 132 Legacy or the 259s, a full stainless, all the internals are number 2 stainless. So they had that 10-year warranty on them, which is really kind of nice. Kind of zooming out just a little bit here for you as well. You can see it's got that nice stainless foot on the bottom there. That stainless foot is going to prolong the life of that powder because it's not making contact with the ground. We have stainless rivets that are on it. So that's kind of fun. The work table is a little different work table. You see it's kind of got that angle and that cutout to it. I think it looks really nice and sleek.
And inside in the base.
Inside in the base. What am I
got
missing?
that extra, the panel in there.
The powder coat protector panel? Yeah, so we got some liners on the wall that protect the powder coat a little bit better too, and those are made out of full stainless as well. And the ash pan on this is stainless as well. So all the internals are basically what you would get on like a Legacy 132 stainless. Kick over to, where am I going? The next one. Here's our cool badging. So that's 12 gauge stainless steel brushed laser etch badge, which is cool. It's got the year we started on it. And then obviously that retro badge, it's kind of cool with Mr. Hasty, flinging his fingers.
I'm a fan.
He's poking everybody.
Yep.
And that too, you can kind of see the long handle there. So this is my favorite part. This is my baby.
Yeah.
Everybody else can have the rest. This is my baby. So I really like when we decided, and this was a couple years ago, that we decided we were going to do the coffin top, or not the coffin top. We were going to do the reissue.
Right.
And I said, man, if we do the reissue, we have to put a beer timer on it.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know what a beer timer is, back in the day, before thermometers were real big on grills. Now, I mean, it's hard to find a grill without a thermometer. But before the thermometers were big on grills, Grant had this kind of fun, quirky idea because that's the type of person he was. He said, well, what if we put a timer on there, like a clock, with a little indicator on it, and if you put your ribs on at noon, you could mark that you put your ribs on at noon, and that way when you had 5 or 10 beers and forgot what time you put your ribs on and didn't know what time dinner was, like you can go back and look and be like, oh, they've been on there for 3 hours.
Right.
Totally quirky, but super fun.
Yeah.
So I looked and looked and looked to try to find a beer timer that we could scan and pull the graphics off of.
Yeah.
And even the best of the best of the best that I found was like just not clean enough. So we had to recreate this beer timer from the get-go, which was kind of fun because there's about 18 different beer timers that were released. So we're trying to marry up and figure out what was the closest thing to what we have. But on this beer timer, it's got the original logo on it. It says set starting time or you'll forget.
That's right.
Portable charcoal oven, broils, smokes, bakes, fries, all-weather fires in 2 minutes, lid prevents flare-up, cooks for 2 or 40. Like, it's just all the fun marketing stuff that was on the original one. Tulsa, Oklahoma, model 175, so we did change that from 100 to 175, and then that's our original patent number on there. So this is its standalone. Now, we do have a question right now, and I knew this was going to come up. Are the beer timers available on their own? Eventually, they may be.
Right.
We're still honestly not sold on that. So we're deciding.
Yeah.
Part of the joy of this is that, like, if you get that retro, like, this is one of the cool things you get. There also is some a kind of a boon. Installing that beer timer is a little different.
For
You got to
sure.
drill into it and have a couple different mounts and stuff, because the way that beer timer mounts, which is pretty cool, is it hovers over your tell true.
Yeah.
So again, a couple of years ago when we set out to do this, I said, man, I want the beer timer to be functional, but I want the tell true to be functional, because I want this grill to work as though it's a perfectly functioning brand new grill.
Right.
But it's got to have that look to it. So the beer timer swings down over that tell true, covers it up. If you want it to cover it up, you can use it, or you can slide it out of the way and use it separately. The tell true is still fully functional. You'll even notice on that little beer timer mount, like there's a little arrow there to kind of mark your starting time. So that's honestly my favorite part of the whole dang grill, just because it's just so cool, iconic throwback.
Yeah.
It's dumb as far as, like, it doesn't help you grill, but if
not
you're
with that attitude.
I know, not with that attitude. But from that perspective, if you're gonna have a retro grill with throwback, like, it's got to be true to what it was, right?
Right.
So that is true to what it was. Here's the other thing: is
that's
we put
my other favorite part.
We put laser cut commemorative grates on it, so it's got Mr. Hasty on the bottom right here with our Hasty Bake logo on the left. Now, we're also going to send these out with the regular cooking grates that are on your Legacy. So as far as square footage, this is the same cooking square footage that you have on your Legacy.
Yep.
So all your Legacy appliances, accoutrement, they fit. Your grill extenders and your griddles and your all that, like, that'll work fine on this. But we do send it with, if you don't want to cook on these fancy grates, we do send it with a set of just regular cooking grates for Legacy.
You can treat those like your china. Just display them in the dining room.
Claim that you're going to bring it out at Christmas, and then Christmas time you're like, I don't want to break it.
Right.
Yeah.
But there they are in the glass case.
Did you have china growing up? Did your mom have china?
Yeah.
Did you ever use it?
No. Well, I don't know. It probably. I don't know.
We didn't have. My wife did. We didn't have china. We had a couch.
A couch.
Yes. So big in the 70s, 80s, 90s, in some areas where you'd have a sitting room, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But our sitting room apparently was only for decoration.
Oh,
So it was like, hey, when people come over, like, we have the couch for guests, and we were never allowed to sit on the couch, ever. And it was like this light pink floral textured thing, right? And then at some point, I think my mom realized how absolutely absurd that was. Yeah. And she's like, use the couch, use everything. I don't care anymore. Like, I'm done. Because I think after like 25 years, it's like, are we going to ever have someone come over to sit on the couch?
Right.
So, no. So yes, this is the couch. This is the china.
There
this
you
is
go.
If you want to bring it out and show people, you can. If you want to hang it on the wall behind the grill, feel free to. But that, ladies and gents, is go back to kick on back to the main picture so you can see the waistline and everything one more time. So that's the side view. Mm-hmm. And this, my friends, is the, where'd you go? Why don't you zoom? There it is. There's your 175.
So probably my favorite thing about this is how many we're making.
75.
Or how many we're not making. Yeah.
5,000.
Yeah. So, again, to keep it special, we want it to be a unique and a special thing. Yeah. 75 is how many we're making, is making of these. And just a really, really cool thing that I love. I love playing around. Whenever we were working on it and everything, just getting to cook on it was cool.
It would kind of felt throwback, didn't it?
For sure.
Like,
for sure.
The OG Hasty Bake guys were cooking on this same grill.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I love it.
We've got one on the showroom. Come in and check it out.
We got the showroom. We got, I think we have one on the patio, maybe, or on one of the patios.
Yeah,
I think our laser guys stole one of the prototypes.
They definitely did. They definitely did.
Yeah, but that's pretty fun. Yeah, so we're making 75 of those, and when they're gone, they are gone.
That's it.
So if you're interested, you need to jump in here and get them pretty quick.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of shocked to see how many we sold the first week we released.
I had no doubt that people were going to think it was really cool and a cool throwback. But I didn't know, what it was going to do, if it was going to, and it took off, and I love that.
Yeah,
That's
definitely,
so cool.
definitely fun, man. Yeah, come check it out. I want you guys to get your hands on it and see how cool that thing is.
Yeah.
Hey, we have coming up this Saturday our ribs class. How many spots are open for that?
0.
Goose egg. Nothing.
Yeah.
But we do have more classes.
We do have more classes.
You know what's coming up? Do you remember?
I
can pull it up.
I believe the next class is tailgate class.
Cool.
Which is one of my favorite classes.
It's a blast.
It is. Whenever one of the first couple of years that I was an ambassador, I got to come with a couple of the other guys, and we taught the tailgate class, and really just walked people through basically a tailgate, whether that's you having people over at your house or you're having a tailgate on site, somewhere.
OSU or
right.
something.
And that's what I love about that is, I don't know what all they're going to do, but I know they'll do 3 or 4 different things.
And they normally do. They'll do an appetizer or two. They'll do kind of some entree stuff. They'll probably do a dessert.
Yeah, I know. When we did it, we did sausage, egg, and cheese biscuits, and then I think chicken wings and ribs, and then like a blackberry cobbler.
Right.
So
and
we also cover the whole day there.
And they'll do it on different grills as well. So, like a lot of people like to tailgate with the Rangers, so they'll show you kind of how to build your fires and do your timings and everything on a smaller grill versus the bigger one. So, that'll be pretty involved. So the tailgate class kicks off, I believe, August 19th is what I'm seeing. 9 a.m. Saturday, August 19th. So that's still open. The ribs class this weekend is sold out. They're doing a bunch of different kinds of ribs, I think, for that. I think they're doing baby backs and spares and some different recipes. And
knowing those guys, it's going to be...
It's Alan and his son Josh, our ambassadors, teaching that, I think.
And Joe.
And Joe Medlin.
Yep.
You guys are all familiar with them, our ambassadors. They're outstanding. But that's going to be a great class this Saturday morning. But Saturday, August 19th, those tickets are still available. So jump over to hastybake.com, click on Learn at the top, and go to Events. And it will take you to our Eventbrite page where that is listed, as well as the upcoming brisket class in September.
What?
Yeah, who's teaching that? Are we going to get roped into that one?
No, I don't think you and I are teaching that one.
I hope we have some new, fresh faces.
Yeah, I think we are not teaching that. Now, we will probably attend.
We'll be there.
Yeah, but
I'm a brisket guy.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Saturday, September 19th, that's a 9 a.m. class. And then the last class of the year, which is really freaking weird to say, by the way.
No, we have another class in October.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do.
We do?
Yeah, it's just not.
Oh.
It's not out yet.
We have secret classes.
We have a secret class that will be released. What are we release? Are we doing 2 days prior or 2 days?
Don't look at me. I don't even remember we had a class in October.
Yeah, I think we're doing 60 days prior. So we don't have it on the website right now.
Gotcha. Oh, that's why we're okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, we don't have it on the website, but there will be a class in October.
Okay.
Just we don't have anything to announce about it yet,
Gotcha.
but we will, and it's going to be an awesome class. It'll be one just to definitely.
I'm super excited about the class that I
for.
don't remember that we're doing.
Yeah,
it's going to be a blast.
Yeah.
And we have a holiday class.
And then we have a holiday class.
So holiday class will be, that's always a good one. Always good family favorite recipes.
Yeah.
We try to do it in November, so you have Thanksgiving and Christmas to kind of back those up and use those recipes for. So, yeah, come join us.
We also, if there's anybody new on here, we do, or new Hasty Bake owner, we do also once a month, we do offer the 101 classes, which is a cool class to come. We have them on Saturday mornings for about an hour. It's a great way to just look at the grill, ask any questions. Even if you're just thinking about, I really want a Hasty Bake, but I'm intimidated for whatever reason, come to a class. Like it's a great opportunity to see one.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. We love doing these, man.
Yeah,
all of them. The cooking classes, the 101s, are always they're always a real fun blast. Clint wants to know about a seafood class. We don't have one on the books for a dedicated seafood class, but we do work seafood into quite a few of them. So a lot of times the tailgate class will have like shrimp tacos or something like that. So we do seafood recipes throughout the year. We found that it's easier to work them in, and we get more people kind of coming rather than just a dedicated one, because there's some people who don't like seafood, and we don't want to exclude take a whole month and dedicate it to that. So we try to spread it out and make sure that we kind of keep those recipes filtered out throughout the thing.
Speaking of recipes,
man, you are on point tonight.
Hey,
I like it.
Thanks.
Keeping us honest.
Hey.
So I try to take multiple days throughout the year and film content. And you guys, you'll see me go down. We have a production company in Alabama I work with, and we do a bunch of stuff down there. And then we film some stuff up here. But I take, one day a week or so and just kind of try to dedicate and film some content. And one thing that, so Zach sent this recipe to me last week.
Let's give the credit because he might be listening. But my buddy Alan, said, "Hey, my birthday month." He is a birthday month kind of person.
He's a monther.
If you need to know anything about my buddy Alan, but he's a birthday month kind of guy.
I feel like if you're a birthday month person, you should have to wear a hat all month.
That's not a bad idea.
And it's kind of like when you go to the Mexican place and they give you the sombrero and they sing to you.
Just all month.
I just feel like all
I agree.
month.
Like if you're, So he said, he sends me, this video and this picture and he said, "Hey, I'd really like this for my birthday this year." And so, I looked at it and kicked it over to Nick, and within a week I sent it back and said, "Here you go."
So the funny thing is, like, the recipes I'm working through this year have been on my calendar for probably almost a year because I throw them on there, and then as things can be convenient or as things hit, popular or whatever, we'll film them. So this looked so good that I'm like, I have to do this. And the funny thing is, like, the day I did it, the next day, like, it started everything. I haven't posted it yet. It's getting posted this week. Yeah. But it started going viral, and like everyone started picking them up. So now I have to move it up and post it now so that it. But I want to show you guys that this is the gloriousness that is pork pinwheels.
That's right.
That recipe is going to get posted pretty darn soon. It was freaking standing.
It's outstanding.
Now, I will say it's like a 3-biter.
Correct.
So don't make a million of them because you're going to share one of those with like 3 or 4 people.
That's right.
But that was a lot of fun. So we like having some fun on those. The neat thing with a hasty bake on that is you bake cinnamon rolls, right? Well, you really have to bake these because if you kept them over the fire the whole time, like all that fat would sear and char, and the sugar especially. So it gave the legacy I was cooking on a workout because I started them out on the grill and then I moved them up to a rack and then I put them in a pan and then I baked them out and then I had to pull them off to rest them so that they wouldn't get overcooked. And then I took the glaze and I heated the glaze up on it and then I ended up searing that. And then, so I was cranking that thing up back and forth all day long, and it was kind of fun. There's not a lot of recipes where I get to really use the extent of the grill that much.
Yeah.
So good times. Hey, do we want to make a premature announcement?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Hey, tomorrow morning we're going to announce something, but if you happen to tune in tonight, so the 300,000 of you that are tuned in right now that are crashing the internet because you're watching us.
That's right. I mean, Adam Green's here, so.
Hi, Adam Green. Is he?
Yeah, he's here.
Adam Green, you are on vacation in Key West, and you are tuning in to hang out with us.
I know it.
I love you, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So right now, today is July 12th.
Yep.
July 13th, Thursday, 14th, Friday, 15th, Saturday. Those 3 days for the next 3 days in the Tulsa Grill Store. Sorry, guys, if you're not local, but you're used to getting left out.
In-store only.
In-store only. We're going to do a charcoal sale. Everyone's kind of blown through their charcoal supplies. Like, everyone got super happy. Like, season's out. They come in May and they, load up on it. And then by 4th of July, like, we're all dwindling. I know I opened my last bag of charcoal, hasty baked charcoal, this last week.
Yeah.
And my wife was grilling steaks last night. And she's like, are we... Do you have another bag? I'm like, no, I'll get one.
We do not.
I normally keep like a pallet in the shop.
Right.
So we got a charcoal sale coming up. It's not necessarily a pallet sale, although if you would like to buy a pallet, we'll sell you a pallet.
We will sell you a pallet.
So normally those bags go for $17.99. We're knocking them down to $14.99 if you buy 3.
Yeah.
And there's no limit on them. So you want to come buy 30, save yourself $100 or so on that. So that's going to go Thursday. I guess I should post this episode tonight.
Yeah.
Just in case. Yeah. But that's going to go Thursday through Saturday, and we're open 10 to 5 tomorrow and Friday, and then 10 to 1 on Saturday. So come join us in the local store. Yeah. Hang out. Get your hands on a 175.
That's right.
Come feel it up.
Yeah.
Right through its paces, and then grab a handful of charcoal bags on your way out and stock up on that.
That's it.
I think it's a good time to do that.
Yeah.
We will keep you guys posted on trying to get Ken in here. Really eager to get him in. I know he's got a lot of wisdom and some really cool stories and everything he wants to share.
Absolutely.
Hey, I want to invite you guys to do one more thing. I did something on a whim yesterday that I think really took off, and I want to start doing. We get calls all the time, and when I say all the time, at least once a day.
Oh yeah.
From someone who says, "Hey, I got this old Hasty Bake, and I want to tell you about it," or I want to get this part or whatever for it. And when they say old Hasty Bake, 30, 40, 50, 60 plus years, a lot of times, because our grills last forever. So we get these calls, and to be completely honest with you, like sometimes we take them for granted because we get them
for sure
all the time.
Yeah.
And then you all of a sudden will get one and you're like, okay, this is a really cool story. So I was sitting there last night. My wife was off doing some stuff with some of her girlfriends and was on the internet. I was like, man, I kept thinking about that story. I'm like, I want to tell people that story. So I posted it online, and folks just went nuts on it. They're like, oh my gosh, that's the coolest story. I'm not crying, you're crying, the whole thing, right? So that being said, we would love to hear from you guys. If you have a really cool Hasty Bake story.
Yeah.
I mean, memories are awesome, and you're always welcome to share memories. But if you got a really cool story, like the one I told was this guy who's, him and his grandpa, grandpa had taught him how to grill. They'd nursed grandpa's grill forever and ever. Grandpa's long gone. Finally, the grill fell apart. It's like 65 years old. And he salvaged the grill grates off of it, and he came in and bought a brand new Legacy and took grandpa's grill grates from his 1960s Boomer and put them on his Legacy and started cooking on grandpa's grill grates on his brand new grill. And he said it just makes him feel like closer to grandpa because the steak he's cooking was touching the same grates that he learned to cook on, and that, grandpa cooked steaks on. Really cool story. If you got a story like that, something really cool, that just makes you appreciate the grill, makes you appreciate family, the history, all that kind of stuff, we want to invite you guys to share that with us. So feel free in the comments below this podcast, either in the Smoke Bake Sear page or on the Grill or the Grill Community page. Feel free to leave one of those. If you want to shoot Hasty Bake Grills just a message on Facebook and say like, hey, I got a story for you. Want to hear about it. Definitely, we would love to hear those because I want to continue to share those stories with people. Like, again, we hear them all the time. I don't want to take them for granted. I want to be able to pass those on. So if you got one of those, we would love to hear it. Pictures, anything you got, like we can share it. I mean, I'll share them on social media. We might even bring stuff up on the podcast. But I wish I got a picture of those grill. I never saw them, but the grates on that grill would have been really, really cool. So, hey, we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, and it won't be a month and a half.
It hopefully will not be a month and a half. I mean, our goal is to do these every 2 weeks.
Right.
It gets hard. It's baseball season. Kids running around like crazy. Factory going nuts, power going out. But hey, we're going to make this work because we love hanging out with y'all. Thank you for tuning in, for the comments, for saying hi, for leaving some feedback for us. We read every single one of them. We take them all to heart. So if you guys are big podcasters on Spotify or Apple or whatever, hey, drop a review on there. That helps us get found. For sure. It helps people who are Hasty Bakers, who are looking for Hasty Bake content to track us down and be able to get more access to that. We're also posting these on YouTube as well. So if you want to come watch them later on, they'll be on YouTube. But anywhere podcasts are found,
that's it.
Where you can get these. So appreciate y'all. Anything else?
I'm good.
No, you're good. All right, folks. Hey, this is a short one tonight, but we're just happy to be here and hang out with you. So
that's right.
We'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Be good to each other.
See ya.
Bye.